What's going on, you guys? Hey, so I had this idea this morning in the shower. Why does it happen when you have ideas in the shower? I had this idea in the shower that to have like a book club for general surgery residents, and it's not the type of book club you're thinking of, where you go over papers and shit like that and talk about medicine. But when I was in residency, obviously you're busy, you're reading textbooks and medical journals and all that stuff, but you don't really have a lot of time to read other books. And I didn't read like anything else when I was a resident, and actually I was a resident when 2004 to 2010, and just so happened the housing market crashed and I didn't even pay attention. Like, I had no idea why it happened and all that stuff. And so when I got out, I was like, what the hell happened? Why is this, of course I bought a house in 2005 and it was worth, I bought it for $130,000. I was in Detroit and it was worth like $50,000 or $40,000 in 2010 when I got out. So I started reading a lot about what was going on and all that stuff, and reading other books, and of course we have personality disorders as surgeons and all that stuff, so I had to do a lot of self-help to figure out what the fuck was wrong with me. So anyway, I thought maybe it would be a good idea to have like these short videos and explain some of the books, just do a quick review for people that if you're really busy in your surgery residency, you can get actually some of this great knowledge from these books without actually having to read like the whole thing. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about my favorite, one of my two favorite books, and it is when I was 3 years out of residency, working, was not happy with my job. I was really pissed off. I was, I did all this work. I put in 20 years of work and really just did not see the results I wanted. And I was at a point where I had to decide what I was going to do. And it's basically I had to quit my job and get another job. And I was really pissed off about it. So I read this book called The Happiness Advantage. I can't remember who wrote it, but anyway, I will put a link in the video, in the thing below here. Anyway, The Happiness Advantage was this guy. He was, I think, a Harvard or Yale professor, I think psychiatry or psychologist or something like that. Anyway, he did a study on these the Harvard students and who did better in class. And he found out that essentially, through a real scientific study, that the students that were happy first were doing better on their tests and on their classes and overall in school. And so basically what happens is we, especially us medical people, we have these goals and we have these checkpoints, and we always see this checkpoint as the horizon of like when we're going to be happy. And we're like, okay, well, once I reach that, once I take step 1, I'll be happy. Once I take step 2, then I can be happy. But until then, I have to be miserable, right? And this was what I did, is I made myself miserable, and I was tortured myself to make myself study in order to take that test and then be happy. And then I was like, oh, once I finish medical school, I'll be a doctor and I'll be happy. And then you get into residency, you're like, well, once I finish, an intern year, I'll be happy. And it just keeps going, and you keep pushing the happiness off into the horizon. And so what he found was that you first have to be happy inside, and then once you do that, you actually improve your performance, which then that got me interested, because as a surgeon, you want to do the best you can do all the time. You want to be better than everybody, right? And so that really interested me, and so I thought, okay, well, if my job requires me to be happy to do a good job, like, that's what I need to do. And so that was really a turning point for me. And I think I think this is very important and very relevant to surgery in general, because a lot of People in surgery are not very happy, and they're pissed off all the time because we work a lot and there's a lot of bad shit that happens, and you can really let it get to you. And so I see a lot of folks just miserable in their job, but they can't get out of it. And I feel like they are doing the same thing I was doing, but just over a prolonged period for 20-30 years, and they're just pushing the happiness off until whatever, and maybe at this point it's retirement. But it's really important to first decide to be happy, and second, and then your performance will improve. There's a lot of things to be reasonable things to be happy about that, right? Improving your performance, but there's no one thing that's going to make you happy for long term. If you buy a new car, it's going to wear off eventually, unless you buy maybe a GT3 or something like that. Maybe that will. No, I'm just kidding. Even the GT3 will probably you'll probably get bored of the GT3 at some point. I don't know, maybe you won't. I don't think I would. But anyway, I hope you get my point, and I kind of want to keep these videos short so you have time to watch them in residency. And the next video I'm going to talk about is my second favorite book, which is the Power of Habit. And that really dovetails nicely with this, because these thoughts and emotions and feelings we have of being happy or being sad or being pissed off all the time are really habits, and they're brain pathways that we develop. And if we are always triggering a bad emotion, right, an angry emotion, then our brain thinks that that's what we're supposed to do, so we keep doing that. Anyway, I'll talk about that in the next one. So anyway, happy America Day, bitches! I'll talk to you next time. See ya.